The meeting will come to order. Roll call, please.
Council members Aguilar,
Here.
Anderson, Brown,
Here.
Entenmann,
Here.
Erfenbach,
Here.
Jameson,
Here.
Litz,
Here.
Rolfing.
Here.
We will be led tonight in invocation by Pastor Wade Mobley from Living Word Free Lutheran Church, and then we will immediately say the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody, please rise.
I'm thankful for the public servants who have been newly elected. A lot of new faces. Congratulations, and it must feel very good to say here for the first time. So congratulations on that. I'm also thankful that we have an invocation in our city. And an invocation, by definition, we invoke a name, a person of a name, and that is the living God. And I'm thankful that we're able to do that today. I have one brief portion of a psalm I'd like to read for you as we begin. Psalm 1. Blessed is the one who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this group of public servants who have been elected to lead our city. I ask that you would grant them wisdom. Lord, where there is anxiety or a sense of being overwhelmed, I ask that you would grant them the wisdom to allow you to bear those burdens. I ask, Lord, that you would give them wisdom to make good decisions and patience to listen to citizens, and also a bit of a tough skin when maybe the going gets hard. Lord God, where there is enmity or strife that may arise, I ask that you would grant them the courage to be gentle in their response. Lord, where there is ambition or conceit that slips in, I ask that they would be quick to ask forgiveness and quick to grant the same. Lord God, we love you today because you have first loved us. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wanted to welcome all of you here tonight. Of course, it's a special night for me and a very special night for four of the counselors who you'll get to know more over the years as well. I also wanted to welcome Assistant City Attorney Gail Eisland, who is to my left, and also Assistant City Clerk Jamie Palmer, who is to my right tonight and will be helping me along during this first meeting. I wanted to just give a few words and to Vice Chair Jameson. I'll try to be as brief as I can, but I did want to just give a few words, and that is to all of you in the audience and the people that are watching at home. I'm truly honored and humbled to be here in front of you tonight. I wanted to let you know that the things that you heard during the campaign for me are some of the same things that you're going to hear at least during the first 100 to first year of this journey with all of you. And what will that entail? It'll entail things like fiscal responsibility. I still want to work with all of the 1,100 city employees, the department heads, along with the city councilors to find a way to make things more efficient, more accountable, and yes, more service-oriented. We need to focus on jobs and economic development in this great city of ours. I'm going to work hand in hand with the Sioux Falls Development Foundation, Downtown Sioux Falls, and of course the Chamber of Commerce to make all of that happen. I do want to get back to basics with some of the basic inner core needs that city government is supposed to do for the citizens of Sioux Falls. What does that entail? It entails things like repairing these streets. I want to celebrate with all of you before that first snowfall in November, hopefully December, and maybe even January, to celebrate the success that we've had in terms of repairing, rebuilding, or resurfacing some of these streets. I also want to capture some of the opportunities that our great city has. And what does that include? A couple of them, of course, you know about, whether it be building a new event center for this town, whether it be moving the railroad tracks out of downtown Sioux Falls so that we can spur on greater economic development and build jobs and bring some stimulus into this town of ours, as well as things like affordable airfare. Some of those basic things that I think you're all excited about and that I certainly want to make happen. As the city councilors know, I've tried to reach out already to them in the spirit of we want to work as a team with this new and vibrant and energetic and professional city council. This is a team, and I mean it sincerely, I believe they have the potential to be the strongest city council this city has ever been a part of. In order for us in the mayor's office and in city government to work hand in hand with them, we have to reach out to them. We have to be transparent. We need to communicate openly and effectively. And you have my word, we will do that at a rate that has never been done before. To the people of Sioux Falls, this is your city government. It is. This is your city council. And I am your new mayor. If we work together, there is nothing that all of us, including you at home, including you in the audience, cannot accomplish. I truly want to thank you for letting me serve you. I am again, humbled and honored by the prospect of the next 4 years. My daughter Kylie, my wife Cindy are ready to serve. We're excited to serve you. And ultimately, the only way that I can repay you for electing me as your mayor is to work as hard as I possibly can with these great people around this room. So again, I truly thank you for being here. Now, enough talk. Let's get some stuff done in this town. And with the help of these fine people, we'll do that. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for the time. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move, Anderson.
Second, Erpenbach.
Councilman Anderson moved it, and it was seconded by Councilor Erpenbach. Are there any further motions or changes to the consent agenda? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda vote yes, and those vote no.
Councilmember Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
That motion did prevail 8-0. The consent agenda has been approved. Is there a motion now to approve the regular agenda?
So move, Brown.
Second, Aguilar.
Councilor Brown moved, and it was seconded by Councilor Aguilar. Are there any further motions or changes to the regular agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the regular agenda, please vote yes, and those opposed, vote no.
Councilmembers Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
That motion also prevailed 8-0. The regular agenda has now been approved. Folks, this is a time when we do set aside for anyone in the audience who would like to address the City Council. We'd ask you to keep it to 5 minutes. For any topic that is not already on the agenda, please come to the podium and just state your name. Welcome.
My name is Tim Stanga. You'll get to know me very, very quick. I'm not afraid to speak. I don't know much on what you have on the plate, but it sounds like it's good. Person has to see things in City Hall tighten up. Money has to be spent wisely. I've always brought up that a lot of the bids, again, bringing up the casino in Iowa, where You have to live in Iowa to work on the project. You have to live in Iowa to sell products to the development. South Dakota does not have that yet. I would like to see maybe the city council or somebody stepping up and bringing it up to peer to see that we can do the same thing as they do. You know, Greg has been a person that has spoke against the casino. You know, a lot of people don't realize that we're going to supply water to them now. I think that they should be shut off myself, but, you know, but Sioux Falls has to work with them. And I would like to see maybe you guys being able to sit down with them and trying to work something out. I know that the word around is the people that have the machines in town are going to lose money. Losing money off the machines is going to lose money up in Pier. That means that they got to come back with a shortfall on the revenue. And that's something that the state of South Dakota and the city have to look at. Like I say, I'm not afraid to speak out. I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind, but we got to realize that there are people that are struggling in this town day to day. More people than you ever think. And we got to look at how to keep taxes down. We got to find good jobs. And some of the jobs that we're creating right now are not cutting it. So I'll give you 100 days.
Mr. Stegner, thank you. Any comments or questions from Mr. Stegner?
I would just add thank you. I'd just add a comment. If Councilor Brown, I have to struggle more. I'd rather call him Vernon, but Councilor Brown, as I've been instructed, is there any way that the Municipal League would maybe look at a law that would be something similar like Iowa's doing, or has it already been proposed once and is shot down? Is there a reason that South Dakota doesn't operate that way? Maybe.
Your timing is perfect. That's why I've assigned you to a policy committee on South Dakota Municipal League, and in August, when you go to that meeting, you can bring that forth and see what the feeling is of the communities that are involved in that.
Tim, we'll do that.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Stegner, too, you should get to know the folks at the Chamber, as well as David Owen as well. I mean, these are gentlemen, Bob and David, they are gentlemen that spend a lot of time in Pier lobbying not only for Sioux Falls, but also for all of South Dakota to try to, you know, capture the opportunities. They are two men that you should meet as well. We're going to try to capture all the opportunities that we can in terms of that Iowa casino, but it is truly good for Iowa.
Correct.
I struggle a little bit, of course, finding all of the opportunities in terms of it being good for South Dakota, but no, it is going to impact our great city and our great state. And also, I want to let you know, thanks for giving me the 100 days. I appreciate it. I won't capture all the opportunities then, but I will be transparent, I will be open, and you're always welcome to come speak. So thank you.
All righty.
Thanks. Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak to the City Council today? Don't be bashful. Well, since no one is coming forward, let's move to item 16.
New 2010 packaged liquor license for Maketh Gak Sudanese General Store to be operated at 623 West 11th Street, effective July 1, 2010. 17, new 2010 retail wine license for Interstate House of Pancakes, Inc., Rollin' Pin Restaurant to be operated at 3015 West Russell Street, including video lottery terminals placed with existing retail malt beverage license. Cup not required. This is in addition to an existing license which predates the ordinance. 18, special one-day liquor license for Travis Schokmeyer, TJ's Bartending, to be operated at Old Courthouse Museum, 200 West 6th Street, on July 9th, 2010, for a wedding reception. 19, special one-day wine license and special one-day off-sale package wine license for Senior Citizen Services, Inc., to be operated at the Center for Active Generations, 2300 West 46th Street, on June 24th, 2010, for a wine tasting event. 20, special one-day malt beverage and wine license request for Sioux Falls Sister Cities Association to be operated on Phillips Avenue from 5th Street North to 2nd Street for the German Fest to be held on September 11th, 2010.
Thank you, Jamie. Lori Hogstead with the City Attorney's Office representing items 16 through 21. Items 16 and 17 are both new licenses. 18, 19, and 20 are special one-day requests. Item 21 is our first set of retail malt beverage and packaged malt beverage renewals. These will come to you 2 more times yet this renewal season. There'll be another set on June 7th and a third set on June 21st. One item that we'll bring forth on June 21st are those businesses that have had underage sales, and they will be presenting their management plans to you on the 21st. I'd be happy to answer questions on items 16 through 21.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move approval for 16 through 20.
And
Seconded, Rolfing.
Could I just do one? Anybody from the audience?
Yeah, but actually I haven't read 21 yet, so if we can do
I said through 20.
through 20. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yes, and then I read it.
Are there any questions from anybody in the audience in terms of items 16 through 20? Seeing none or hearing none, we had the motion from Councilor Brown, and it was seconded by Councilor Intimate?
Rolfing.
Rolfing?
It was a tie.
All right. Very good. Any further comments or questions on 16 through 20? All those in favor of that motion, please vote yes, and those opposed, please vote no.
Councilmembers Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Those that passed 8-0. We're now going to move to item 21, and Councilor Intiman is going to excuse himself for this particular topic. Thank you, Councilor Intiman. Are there any, or Lori, please, any further comments on 21?
No further comments. This is just the first set of renewals, and there will be 2 more following in June.
And I need to officially read that. 21, various retail malt beverage and packaged malt beverage license renewals for 2010, 2011 to be operated at various locations in the city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, identified as Exhibit A.
Is there anyone from the audience who's got any comments or questions on item 21? Hearing none, could I just get a motion and a second, please?
Move to approve, Erpenbach.
Second, Aguilar.
There's a motion to approve by Councilor Erpenbach and seconded by Councilor Aguilar. Could I have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmembers Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
That motion prevailed 7-0 with one excused. Thank you. We'll now move on to item 22, please.
First reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a major amendment, petition number 2010-0408 to Chapter 15.45.070, Plan Development Districts at 6805 South Louise Avenue, amending the Platinum Valley Plan Development District, sub-area regulations. Planning Commission recommends denial.
Good evening. Mike Cooper, representing Planning and Building Services, and also joining me tonight is Dave Loveland with the Planning Office. And we'll be presenting a first reading tonight of items that have been considered by the City Planning Commission at their last regular meeting. And just by way of a little background, because I know we have some new faces tonight, and this will get easier every time. But we thought we'd start you off with the one that might generate a little bit of discussion at the second reading. But you will typically see the planning staff present you items at the first and third Mondays. The third Mondays follow the Planning Commission hearings, and we go through first readings of most of the items. And then the following month, on the first Monday, is when we'll have the public hearing with testimony, and then you'll be voting on those items. So that's kind of the sequence that we've worked with, and it kind of helps spread things out. and gives people a little bit more time to review these particular issues before they come to a final vote. So again, tonight, the first readings will be considered by you, and you'll be setting a date of hearing for the first Monday in June. Also want to kind of take as much time as you need to go through some of the terminology of our zoning process, because for those of you that are not familiar with it, even some of us that work with it all the time, it can be a little bit confusing. But item 22 is first reading of an ordinance to consider a major amendment as part of the Planned Development District on Louise Avenue. And this is an existing strip mall that was constructed in late 2005. And at the time it was constructed, that retail, trade, and services were allowed uses, which did not include the sale of alcohol. That's a separate land use that we provide for in our zoning ordinance. So what you're being asked to consider with this item is to amend the allowable land uses within this area to include the on-sale alcohol. The petitioner is Jason Walls with Bogies, and Bogies currently has an operation near 26th and Marion Road. And in the description of the proposal, the applicant indicated that they are going to be opening up another facility within this existing strip mall, and that it will consist of restaurant, bar, and video lottery. And their operation would be similar to the current Bogies. This would be called Bogies 2, and it would offer a full menu with beer, wine, and as I said, the video lottery. It would operate 7 days a week. Approximate hours are from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., and that would be approximately 5,000 square feet of building area. So again, the request that you're being asked to consider is adding a land use to allow the on-sale alcohol for this particular operation. At the Planning Commission hearing, there was a neighborhood input on this proposal, and there were some concerns expressed by neighbors to the south. South of 77th Street, there's a townhome association. There were people there that testified that they had concerns about allowing alcohol uses in this area. The Ballerinas Dance Studio also expressed concern about allowing this particular type of land use. And also it was brought up by some of the neighbors that back in March, when another off-sale alcohol use was approved for what's now being called Wolfie's Liquor Store, that the neighborhood didn't feel that they were adequately notified of that proposed amendment. The applicant for the double bogies did conduct a neighborhood meeting prior to the Planning Commission hearing. And at the time that we had put together our staff report, we had not heard that there was going to be neighborhood concerns to the request. But obviously at the Planning Commission hearing, there was some concerns expressed. And so the Planning Commission did make a recommendation to deny this application by a vote of 3 against the request and 2 in favor of the request. And I think we need to correct the minutes of that meeting. But there were 2 planning commissioners that voted in favor of the request and 3 against. So since that time, we have talked to some of the neighbors to the south. We've also talked to the petitioner about other things that they could do to maybe try to help mitigate the concerns. But also during the Planning Commission hearing, it was brought up that the neighborhood was concerned about the notification process, and I know that some of the council members have also brought that up. So again, tonight, in the interest of giving you a little more background, I want to go through what the notification process involves. And first of all, again, the terminology will get easier as you go through these meetings, but we have, within our city zoning ordinance, we have 16 different zoning districts. Everything from agricultural to residential, commercial, industrial, institutional. And then we also have what's called the planned development zoning district. The planned development district is one that is adaptable to just about any location within the city, whereby a petitioner will come in and essentially craft with us kind of a specific zoning ordinance for a development area. And it can include residential, commercial, it can include a variety of land uses. So in this case, this is part of a planned development zoning district, and we're being asked to amend that district by adding another land use. In the more conventional zoning districts, if somebody wants to change it from agricultural to residential or residential to commercial, that involves a process that we call rezoning, and we'll have some of those that I'll go through later on tonight. So again, the terminology will become more familiar with you as you go through. The signage that we require to be posted for these land use changes for both the Planning Commission and the City Council, there's a 7-day posting period prior to the public hearing, and they're required to post at least 4 signs in all corners of the property, and the different colors represent different types of requests. So this is for a change to a planned development, and this is a change to a conventional zoning district, the orange. And over the years, we've had a lot of council people ask about the notification process, and we've talked about changing everything from the number of signs, the size of the signs, the length of the posting, a requirement for a neighborhood notification, a requirement for neighborhood meetings. And so we've kind of gone over the years through different discussions about that process. And we've even gone now about looking at how we can make it more available online so people can go on the website and find out about hearing notices. So I'm very open to going through whatever discussion the council feels comfortable with staff, with members of the Planning Commission, with representatives of the development community to talk about the notification process, and if there's a desire to look at ways that we can improve on that. So having said all that, again, for this particular item, the recommendation by the Planning Commission is for a 3-2 vote to deny the request to add on-sale alcohol to this particular zoning district.
Any questions
Stop
for
at this
Mike or
point.
for Dave on item 22? Councilor Entman.
Mike, can you tell me, was any staff present at the hearing, at the neighborhood meetings that you had?
No. We have typically avoided doing that because there's sometimes the perception that we're favoring either the developer or the neighborhood. So we typically do not attend those, but we ask for some kind of a summary of who attended and what was discussed.
How many citizens attended, do you know?
The applicant indicated to me that I think there was two neighbors that attended the neighborhood meeting.
Okay,
And we'll have the applicant at the second reading to help verify some of that information.
thank you.
Councilor Litz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would suggest that to Vice Chair Jamison that the thing where we're going to look these signs over, the placement, the duration, and all those sort of things, a good start might be the Land Use Committee. So I would recommend that we refer that to Land Use Committee.
Vice Chair Jamison.
It's a good idea, Bob.
Thank you, sir.
We were going to do that. I had a question, though, Mike. The issue of the driveway behind the building used for people to be exiting, I saw that on a different design or layout. I just happened to be at that Planning Commission meeting. Do you know those townhomes that are directly behind the building, were those people concerned? It seemed like it was people across 77th that were concerned.
The people to the south of 77th were present, and then there was one property owner to the south and west. Were the only ones that I am aware of that attended the meeting to speak to this item.
That driveway, that road that goes between the townhomes there, is there any way that could just be blocked off at the back of the parking lot? Or do you need that exit for safety reasons?
Well, some of the considerations that were part of the staff report to the Planning Commission, which certainly could be considered by the council at second reading, that there would be no public entrance to the west side of the building. There would be no signage on the west side of the building or on the ends of the building facing the residential areas. And that we convert the west driveway to just a one-way in to kind of help alleviate some of the concerns about traffic. So those were some things that we had suggested as part of a staff report, but those were not part of the motion by the Planning Commission.
And there's no drive-up window, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Councilor Erpenbach.
There's no drive-up window even for the liquor store? I know that's a different topic.
Yep. I was just referring to this proposal. I'm
Right.
not aware
For
that there would be a
this proposal, there
drive-up.
is not.
Right.
Councilor Rolfing.
Mike, okay, you hear me now? I'm kind of concerned about this because you get caught in these things and then all of a sudden you don't know what's going on. I'm wondering, did you answer the question about the safety of that driveway going in to the west there? Is that needed for safety? Is that the reason it's there, for fire and things like that?
Right.
Okay.
For back access, so to speak.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you can say it's one way, but as well as I do, it's going to at 2:00 in the morning, it's going to be used the other way too. It seems to me there's got to be a better way to in this kind of a situation, especially to notify these people around here, and it wouldn't be that hard to put a door hanger or something like that on these people's deal. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even if this thing was all filled out, it'd take all of an hour for somebody to go out there and put a door hanger on people's doors within a 1-block area, and then no one would have a complaint.
Right. The applicant I think they did notify just the people directly to the west of this.
But
so yeah, that's certainly something
yeah,
that we can
I
look
understand
at.
what you're saying, and,
Sure.
and that's good. And I don't know that there's a problem, but it seemed like that might be something that we could look at as policy or something that we wouldn't have to do it, but we could tell them this is part of your responsibility. If you want to zone something like this, you want a rezoning on it, that has to be done, or there could be a payment to get that done of $100 or something, and we have the money to hire somebody to go out and do that, and we know it's done, and then there's no excuse.
And we do have a policy in these kind of issues to really encouraging neighborhood meetings, but we don't currently have a requirement. So
Yeah.
that would be part of our discussion.
That would be a good discussion, I would think, of some way so that we've got our, we're covered some way.
Councilor Litz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mike, don't we currently have some sort of a limit on how far out that we were required to go to? Is it 600 feet, or I can't recall. I thought, as far as notification.
We don't really have a standard notification requirement for public hearings like that. We do require an affidavit of the posting of the signs, and that's the only requirement that we do have currently.
Item 23.
First reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 500 South Main Avenue from the C2 General Commercial District to the C3 Central Business District, petition number 2010-0314, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a petition by Calvary Cathedral Church in the downtown area. The church is looking at making improvements to their surface parking lot that fronts on 14th and Main Avenue. And part of the property is zoned a C2 commercial, which is more of a highway commercial designation. Our downtown district actually goes down to 14th Street. So what we're encouraging them to do is to change the zoning of all their property so that it's the central business district zoning and it's consistent with other property. And that's what they're doing now as part of their plans for the parking lot improvements. The church building itself is not proposed to have any updating, but it's primarily the parking lot that they're going to be working on.
Any questions from Mike Cooper or Dave Loveland in regards to item 23? Councilor Urbanbach.
Just one brief question again, and it's my being new, I know that. I've tried to read all the forms. I didn't understand, is there more landscaping involved with this project, or does it just look the exact same way except it's sloped differently when they're done?
We're going to try to work with them on landscaping. Right now, they go right to the property line with their asphalt. And within our downtown district, we do have some design guidelines about helping to provide a separation to parking lots with a decorative fence or something like that. And so we're going to try to work with the church on that. That parking lot goes back to when the zoning ordinance allowed what we call zero setback. So they're obviously trying to maximize as many parking spaces as they can, but we're going to try to work with them to squeeze some kind of a separation out with their reconstruction.
Great, thank you.
Item 24.
First reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 4801 West 41st Street from the C4 Plan Commercial District and the O Office District to the RA1 Residential District. Petition number 2010-0403, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a petition by the Sunnycrest United Methodist Church. And the existing church near 41st and Terry Avenue, they've acquired property to the south of the existing church and parking lot. They are proposing to add on to the church building as well as construct additional parking to the south. And so they've acquired this property, and they are asking for the zoning to be changed to allow for the construction. So it's being changed from commercial and office to a residential zoning district, which is consistent with the rest of the church property.
Are there any questions for Mike or Dave Loveland in regards to item 24? Item 25.
First reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at the northeast corner of East 10th Street and South 6 Mile Road from the O Office District to the RS2 Residential District. Petition number 2010-0407, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a petition by Steve Van Buskirk with Van Buskirk Companies. This is part of the Willow Ridge development area. It's located just south of the Assam Elementary School, which is in our city limits, but it's a Brand Valley school. And when the original development that was submitted to the city, this particular area that we're considering for change was designated as future office. And now that the market for residential has started to come back, the applicant is asking for this property to be changed from office to single-family residential. And the proposal that has been submitted shows that there would be approximately 31 single-family residential lots converted from the office zoning to the residential zoning. And this is in conformance with the property directly to the east, which is also residential. And the Planning Commission has recommended approval of this petition to change.
Any questions from Mike Cooper or Dave Loveland on this? Yes. Vice Chair Jamison.
We don't need the vice chair, it's okay. Just Jamison, fine. Mike, this is kind of unusual, isn't it? Normally, this land gets changed to be commercial instead of back to residential. I could suspect that those people who live along that existing residential are happy that they get another row of residential home, but this is one of those, I would sense, a magic moment when this property is set up, this new residential street, that those people who buy those lots along the west side of that road, right, need to just completely, fully understand what could and potentially be behind them. Mm-hmm. Are you concerned at all that that's too narrow between 6 Mile Road and the backyards of those homes?
No, because if we go back to the color version, again, what we typically see with a developer with a large tract of land like this is they'll start out more often than not with larger commercial or office land uses, because it's easier to go what we call downzoning from office to residential than it is to change it from residential to office or commercial. So that's what we find in a lot of developments where they'll maybe carve out a larger corner, and then as the market conditions change over time, they'll think about changing it or converting it to residential. But in this case, the office uses are very compatible with residential development areas, and actually it'll end up potentially be very, very in character with the surrounding neighborhood.
Okay, good. Is there a way that, we're talking a little bit about notification and posting signs a little bit, and we'll discuss that further, I know, but maybe is there a way that you could envision helping us inform those buyers of those lots, and if it's a home, just some kind of a absolute crystal clear notification that says what is built behind you is unknown, but it could be, and it is, zoned commercial, so that there isn't this point in time where they come back and say, the developer said there would be homes back there.
We'll work on that together because most of the time we don't know when property transfers are happening.
Right. Yeah.
But we can sure talk to people to see what process can be enhanced to make sure that people are aware of what's potentially going to be their neighbors.
When they get the building permit, that's a time, I know that a lot of that notification occurs, but if a builder is building a home for a spec and it becomes a residence and then they sell it as an existing home, but great, as long as we talk about it.
And most of the developers, home builders want to do the same thing because they don't want their clients to be surprised or angry with what they've been doing because they want to continue to sell lots in their neighborhood development. So they're typically pretty good about making that information accessible to people. But we'll sure talk about what we can do to enhance that with them.
Mr. Chair?
Councilor Litz.
I would just like to suggest that if I was buying one of those houses, I would definitely check out what's going to be built there before I bought and paid for the house and receive some sort of assurance that, things are going to go that way or the potential. So,
Councilor Anderson Jr.
Mike, I haven't been out there for a while. How is the construction of the sidewalk from that neighborhood down to the school coming along, or is that completed now?
I don't know that it's totally complete. I believe it's been worked through with the county and the school board so that they have a safe access point for the school kids. And of course, there's only, about another week or so of school left, but I think it's been pretty well completed, I believe, but I don't know 100% if that's the case.
Thank you.
Councilor Litz.
I could certainly answer that. I was out there about a week ago, and poor Dave Taggart's got the sidewalk running all across there in front of his place. He's the only house right next to the school, and they've got it partially done towards which would be south, about halfway to the school, and there's a lot more work that needs to be done on it.
So it's not in the final stages yet.
Well, Mike and Dave, thank you very much for your time
We will
tonight.
see you again.
We'll see you again. And
Thank
keep
you.
teaching us, please.
Okay.
The new people, including the mayor. Item 26.
First reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city by amending the city's competitive bid ordinances as found in Chapter 34.5, Purchasing.
Gene Roan, Horse Director of Finance for the City of Sioux Falls. This is a ordinance that's being presented to bring Sioux Falls to the more current position in the bidding laws in the state of South Dakota. The state of South Dakota in the legislature this year made some significant changes to the bidding process, and this is just to bring us in line with it. We discussed this rather thoroughly this afternoon, I think, but if there's other questions, Scott Russ, the Director of Finance, or Director of Finance, that's me, Purchasing Manager, is here with us, and also Karen Leonard from the City Attorney's Office. Those two work together very closely with the state representatives to craft a pretty good result. So if there's any questions, we'll try and answer them.
Are there any questions for Gene, Scott, or Karen on item 26? Gene, just very, very briefly, or Scott, would you mind, just for the people who didn't hear today at 4, could you just let the people of Sioux Falls know if this is a good thing or a bad thing for them, very, very briefly?
Scott Rust, Purchasing Manager with the City of Sioux Falls. Like Gene said, the little background, 2010 legislature passed House Bill 1046, repealing South Dakota Codified Law 5-18, 19, and 23. What they did is they combined everything under one new law and brought everything together and made some updates to it. What this new law is going to do is going to promote efficiency within government. It's going to maintain fair and the same level of competition, and it removes some gray areas in the law also. It's a good thing for city government, especially the efficiency side. So what we're doing here, like Mr. Roanhorst said, we are going to be updating our ordinances to bring ourselves in line with state law, which becomes effective July 1st. And if I'm right, after second reading in 20 days, it'll be July 1st. So we'll be right on the money, so getting this approved. So.
Mayor?
Yes.
Scott, I'd asked you before, too, at the information meeting earlier today. Can you just update us just slightly about the question I asked is, do we give preference to South Dakota companies or Sioux Falls companies on bids? Can you just enlighten us just a little bit?
I did a little research after the meeting and looked into that a little bit further in case that question came up again. And one of the things I did look at, we do have a reciprocal law here, which means if the state of South Dakota, if the city of Sioux Falls has a bid, and we have a bidder from out of state, and they enforce a state preference law, say of 10%, the state or the city itself in state law allows us to enforce that 10% rule also. And if things are all equal, say we have a tie bid and we have the state of South Dakota, the goods are manufactured in the state of South Dakota, we get the push. So the work gets to stay within the state or within the city. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Those are our preference laws.
Any further questions on item 26 for Gene, Scott, or Karen? Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move to set the second reading for items 22 through 26 for June 7th.
The second, please.
Second, Anderson.
There was a motion to set the hearing date and the second reading for Monday, June 7th, 2010 at 7 p.m. for items 22 through 26. It was by Councilor Brown, seconded by Councilor Anderson, Jr. Any further motions or comments? Councilor Litz.
I would just like to tell Mr. Brown and Mr. Anderson that if we keep making these motions, we're not going to get any work out of these new guys.
Trial by fire on June 7th.
Yeah.
Well, all those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. Those opposed, please vote no.
Councilmembers Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
That motion also prevailed 8-0. The hearing date has been set for June 7th at 7 p.m. At this time, Council Vice Chairman Greg Jamison will preside for the meeting for items 27, 28. I'm going to excuse myself, and with your permission, Vice Chair Jamison, I'd love to come back.
You bet.
Thank you.
Pardon? Yeah. Well,
Election of the City Council Chair.
Item number 27, the council needs to elect a chair. And item number 28, we need to elect a vice chair. And at this time, I guess we need a motion. And go ahead, Councilor Brown.
Councilor Jamison, against my better judgment, I will nominate you as chair.
It would be in my good judgment to second that nomination, Erpenbach.
All right, we have a motion and a second. I think we need to do a roll call, but I think there's an affirmative type vote that needs to be made or something unique about this, isn't there?
There is. I wish Deborah was here. We do.
If you don't like me,
Pass.
just wait for
We
Deborah to
don't
come
vote
back.
in the negative on the chair
Right.
and vice chair, I believe, Jamie. We just vote.
If there's a problem, we'll review.
Just have them pass. If you don't want to cast a vote for Counselor Jamison just pass?
Although a pass vote is, yeah, you can pass, I believe. Okay.
Well, let's test it.
Yes, go ahead and do the roll call, please.
Can we do would it help to do a motion to nominations, to cease nominations? Does that solve that question?
Here's Deborah. We can't remember the rules exactly on the chair because it's done in the affirmative, but I don't forget if they don't want to vote for Counselor Jamison as chair, what do they do?
Usually you will state the name of the person that you're voting for chair,
Okay.
and that's how you
That's
vote.
right.
So you'll...
Don't you have to close this too by asking if there's any other nominations, and then if there's not, closing the nomination process first?
You asking me? Sorry, I couldn't quite
I
see
believe
you.
that's what we did last year, is that,
Yes, any further nominations,
Right.
and then if there aren't any, then you'll close, and then you'll all vote for the council member who's been
By name.
nominated. And if there are two, then you would vote for one or the other.
Got it. Does everyone understand?
Are there any other,
We need a motion.
I move that nominations cease. Aguilar.
Second Anderson.
the nomination process has ceased, I guess, or we need to vote on that? Okay, we need to vote on the ceasing of the acceptance of nominations. All those in favor, I guess, Jamie, call it.
Councilmembers Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
All right, we have a motion for Jamison to serve as chair and seconded. Call the roll call, please.
Councilmembers Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes, Jamison.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes, Jamison.
Litz?
Yes to Jamison.
Rolfing?
Yes, Jamison.
Jamison has it. That motion, I guess, congratulations. All right, item number 28, we need to do the same with the vice chair. I would take a motion to nominate.
I move to nominate Councilperson Aguilar.
I'll second that motion for Sue Aguilar as vice chair.
I would move nominations cease.
Second Rolfing.
Okay, we have nomination process motioned and seconded. All, Jamie, call the roll call, please.
Councilmembers Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Okay, now we need to vote on the main motion for Sue Aguilar as vice chair. Please vote in the affirmative, so vote yes and say the candidate's name. Call the roll call.
Councilmember Aguilar?
Yes. Aguilar.
Anderson?
Yes, Aguilar.
Brown?
Yes, Aguilar.
Intiman?
Yes, Aguilar.
Erpenbach?
Yes. Aguilar.
Jamison?
Yes, Aguilar.
Litz?
Yes, Aguilar.
Rolfing?
Yes, Aguilar.
Congratulations, we have a new vice chair. Right up to bat. That's pretty good. All right, we'll bring in the mayor, Mike Uther. Mike, you have the chair.
I just want to thank you for the night tonight. I don't know if you enjoyed it as much as I did. I know you didn't, but I absolutely am enamored by this opportunity. Is it now Chairman Jamison? And Vice Chair Aguilar? I truly look forward to working with you both and your leadership, along with all the other counselors here. And on behalf of the new counselors, Counselor Aguilar, Counselor Intiman, Counselor Erpenbach, Counselor Rolfing, and this brand-new Mayor, Mike, I truly thank you for giving us this opportunity to serve all of you. And with that, no?
Down, Mike.
Almost messed up.
Move adjournment, Rolfing.
Counselor Rolfing moved to adjourn the meeting. Second, please.
Entman, second.
Counselor Entman seconded that. And we do have to vote, please.
Councilmember Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes. The motion to adjourn the very first meeting for me passed 8-0. I thank you all. This meeting is adjourned.
We got 'em.